Okay, we're going to be going through Rassem's Plagal 2, God is the Lord, and Papa Ephraim's 9th Eothinon Doxasticon tonight. So we'll start with the God is the Lord first. Let me pull it up. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. Oops, went away. Okay, so we're going to go to Plagal 2nd. That's what is next week. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a little bit tired tonight. Okay, here we go. Plagal 2nd. So this is soft chromatic. You can tell because of this phthora here. This is a soft chromatic phthora. And this says ichos. And then we have in Greek PL, plagal. And then these are both this and this are associated with the soft chromatic. Okay.
Amy, may I jump in for a second? I'm looking at, do you have a different one than I do? I pulled this up from St. Anthony's. Is this a different one?
Oh, yeah, this is the one that Rassem wrote.
Oh, okay.
This one.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's in the
Where do I find that?
It's in the Google Drive. I can let me just post a link. Okay.
Thank you.
I think I can do that here.
I think it's also on the Sacred Music website for the Archdiocese as well.
Yeah. There,
Oh,
I posted in the group chat a link to it.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Okay, so whenever our Protosalti starts this, he doesn't use the Apikima that St. Anthony has. I believe we should be using this one, or I don't know, should or not, but he usually just does simply, he goes, Neones Savugadi. That's the one that I'm used to, so that's the one that I'll use right now. And Antiochians tend to have their K be a little more flat than Greeks, and I follow that more. I would like my K to be a bit higher, but it's not. So, neones. So this is the zo ke di ga vu. Vuga di ke zok di ga vu. God is the Lord and hath appeared unto us. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. So pretty simple. Any questions about that?
Yeah, Amy, I do have a question, and I noticed this last week when I was just lurking on your other lesson. I've noticed that this is an ornamentation question, but when you are, for instance, when you come down to of the Lord, where it ends on vu, you have a Nissan, and then it goes down to vu, but you have like you go up a little bit and then down a third. Is that just a standard ornamentation?
I think it's pretty standard. I know that we've been doing that at our church for quite a while. And I hear other people do it as well.
So basically, I should imply it that it's there, even though it's not written.
Yeah, I mean, it's really up to you whether you do it or not. I think when you're first starting out reading notation, you're really focusing on reading the notation correctly and getting the pitches right. And so you don't have a lot of brain power left to think about ornamentation. I know, so I've been chanting in Pittsburgh for 4 years, and we really, the first 2, even maybe 3 years, we weren't doing a lot of ornamentation. In the last year, I think it's become more standard for us. Or maybe our protosalty was doing it and no one else was, but when typically when I hear a chanter chant solo, they tend to do a lot more ornamentation than we do as a choir. And I think it's just the limitations that you have of, you know, it being a choir and not being able to practice a lot.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yep. Okay, anything else? Okay, then let's go to, oops, that's the wrong one. The 9th 9th Eothinon Doxasticon. Okay, so this is in the plagal first mode. You can see hijos, plagal, and then this is a stylized alpha, and that's telling us the family of the first mode, and it's based on pa. And Papa Ephraim goes ahead and puts which intonation to use. So you can look here. Okay, so for a long time, I've been using ane, anes, because we usually did earmologic music at my church. And I actually thought that when we were chanting from pa, I thought we were doing the same thing. But as you can see, it starts from pa, but it goes down one. So it's going ni, ga, vu, pa, pa. So it's almost exactly the same as the earmologic. It's just a little bit longer, and the first pitch starts from ni. Sorry, that's not right. That doesn't sound right to me either. There we go. So that is new for me. I need to start doing the right epikimas. Let's go to the music. So it's based from pa. And I'm going to just kind of go through some of the different theory stuff in it first, since everyone might not know this. To start out, right on the first pitch, you have a fatora. And if you go to ByzantineChant.org to learn Byzantine notation, then there's a table of scales and fatora here. And you can see that right here. And basically what it's doing, it's making the zo flat. So if you see the ajem, this is called an ajem. If you see it on zo, it's making the zo flat. If you see the ajem on a ga, it's making the vu sharp or closer to ga. If you see it on a vu, and this I think is a high vu usually, then it brings the vu down. And so basically what it does is it affects the tetrachord for the pitches, for that pitch and the three pitches below it. And it so it's hard to visualize here. I have a visual, but I'm not on my laptop, so I can't show it to you right now. But basically it changes the tetrachord so that it's the intervals from the bottom going upper 12, 12, 6. So that's why you have the zo being flat, because the zo to k is now 6. And then below that is 12, 12. And then for the ga, going from ga to vu, it's 6. So it's bringing the vu up. And then up high, it's bringing the vu down. So let's go back here. And basically, when you see the ajem, that like change stays in place until you see another fatora. And there's two spots in this music where I believe there should be a fatora. And one I mentioned in the comment section, and then the other one I realized tonight, and it should be somewhere in here. There should be a diatonic fatora probably here to make this so natural. There's a zo in the accent here. When you do it flat, it just doesn't sound right. So once you see the diatonic phthora, then from that point on, the zo is changing again. Okay, so let's see. Actually, I had thought that there should be a diatonic phthora here. So really, it probably could be here up at the top for this whole section. And then the next time that you see another ajam is right here. And I believe this is on a zo again. So it keeps the zo flat in this whole section. And then once you get here, you have, this is a diatonic phthora. If we look here, it's the phthora for K in the diatonic scale. So from that point on, when you're ascending, your zo is natural. And when you descend, your zo is flat. Okay, and then I believe that this section is probably Agya. I need to ask someone more knowledgeable than me to know for sure. But Plagal 1, Stikyararic, and Pavadik, I believe they go into Agya sometimes. And since the, I know that if the Isung is on the, then it could be Agya. When it's on K, it's not Agya. So most of the rest of the time you see the Isung is on K. We do have this spot here, but so this is a the and this is a K. But with there being an ajam right there, I doubt that this K is pulled up like it was Agya. The other section is right here, actually. There's a the here, but I don't know about that. I wasn't chanting it as Agya. So, okay, anyway, we have the K diatonic here. So the zo is changing through here, and then we have the ajam again. So the zo is flat, which actually I would say this is probably not Agya because the zo is still flat. Yeah, it shouldn't be. And then here we have another phthora, and that is the hard chromatic phthora, telling you to change to the or high pa. And we were on a the, so now we changed to a the hard chromatic. And in essence, what happens, if you look here, so we were the diatonic. You would have from the to ga is 12 in diatonic, but in hard chromatic, the to ga is 4. So if you look at the music, we have right here, we go right to ga. And so you have to pull that ga up closer to the. And then ke zone, I'm sorry, the, ga, the, ke zo. So the zo is a little lower. Ke the, ga. There again, that has to be up higher, the. And then ga, the, gavu, pavu, papa. This is a very familiar phrase in the hard chromatic genre, this ending. So once you hit it, just if you can get your ga right, usually the rest of the notes will just kind of follow. And you can see here the pa and then the symbol under it. That whole thing is called the martirie, and the bottom portion is called the martirie Simeon, and the bottom portion, that is a hard chromatic martirie Simeon. So right here, you can see. The way phthora work, they, so if they basically change the functional pitch. So the Greek letter stays with the pitch of the original scale, but the martirie Simeon below it changes to match the functional pitch. So we're functioning in the hard chromatic scale and we're ending on pa. So we have the martirie Simeon that's associated with pa in the hard chromatic scale. it's possible, you know, if in the original scale, say we ended on vu, we could have a vu on top and this Martyrie Simeon on bottom. But it's switched, a one-to-one switch from thee to thee. So we end up having them be the same. Okay, so there's our Martyrie, and then this is telling us to switch again. So this Phthora is the diatonic Phthora for Pa. So from that point on, we're back in the diatonic scale and the Zo can move again. And it stays that way to the end of the piece. So I would say the tricky thing about this piece is the Zo, because the Zo is sometimes flat and then sometimes it's moving around. And then there's, you know, the hard chromatic change as well. So any questions before I start chanting it on Parlagi? No? Okay. Ane, ane, zoke, ke zoke di gavu, gadi ke zo ni papa, ni zoke ke di, pavu gadi ke gadi, gavu gadi di gavu gadi gavu papa. And I probably didn't do it very well, but the vu in this last section should be a little lower. That's an attraction that happens in this mode. So now go on. Pavu gadi, sorry. Pavu gadi ke di gadi gavu pavu papa. Pa gavu gadi ke zo ke di ke zo zo ke di gadi ke di gavu pavu gadi ke di gadi gavu pavu papa. Di ke, sorry. Di ke zani zani pani zoke ke zoke di ga di ke di ga bu ga di ke zoke bu ke di zoke di zoke di ga di vu papa. Okay, let me stop there and see if you have any questions, because I don't want you to forget them. Any questions? Okay. I'll go on. Okay, so right here, we're switching back into the diatonic, so the Zo can move. Ke zo ni pa ni zo ke zo ke di ga di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke zo ni zo pa ni zo ke di ga di ke zo ni zo ke di ga di ga vu ga di ga di ga vu pa pa. pa ga vu ga di ke zo ni zo ke di ni pa ni zo ke. Sorry, I don't think I did the right. Ni pa ni zo ke zo ke di. Sorry. Ke zo ke di ga di ke zo ke di ke. Oh, I missed the hard chromatic for Thora. Sorry. Ke zo ke di ga di ke zo ke di ga di ga vu pa pa. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Ni pa zo ni zo ke zo ni pa ni zo ke zo ni pa ni zo ke zo di ke zo ni pa ni zo pa ni zo ke di ke zo ni zo ke di ga vu di. And I'm not sure. I think I might have done a zo wrong in this section. I'm never sure about that. I can't remember if I was doing, I think I'm keeping it natural. Yeah, I think that was right. Okay, any questions? Let me see.
It's still really hard for me to switch from diatonic to the hard chromatic, especially with scale, just because sometimes I'm either going too high or it sounds like I'm still on the diatonic scale, not on the hard.
We are going too high. In what way?
I think of unbelief. It was still. I was holding the. I was doing. In the billows of unbelief. I was lower than I was flat on when the switch over to the hard chromatic.
Yeah, so your ga was too low, probably.
Yeah, I think my ga was at vu, and then my vu was at pa.
Okay. So what I've found with switching, you really have to become flexible in your head with the pitches. And also it helps if you can get that first pitch that's different. If you can get that one, that can kind of help you to reset what you're doing. And you kind of have to change like the atmosphere in your head. I don't know how to describe it. But let's see. Maybe let's see if you can try it. So from there, the ga has to be really close. Can you do a the and then do a ga really close to it?
The ga.
Yeah, that was pretty good. The ga.
The ga.
Yep. So that will help. And then for the next part, you're going up again, the ke zo. So you kind of have to think, I mean, so when I'm chanting, I've started to visualize, well, I don't know if it's visualized, but sense where I am. And basically I'm sensing where I am in the tetrachord. So we've just switched to hard chromatic. The ka di ke zo ke di. So this zo has to be pulled lower. Okay, because there's a little shift here. So the to K, I'm sorry. The K to zo, yes, is lower from the K to zo here. So the to K is the same, hard chromatic and diatonic, but the K to zo is a smaller interval. So when you're reading this, you have to keep that zo really close. I don't even know if I'm doing it close enough. So that's another important one. Gadi, gadi, and then this ending is very typical. Ga, vu, pa, vu, pa, pa. Do you recognize that ending?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of just getting your mind to change where the ga is and the zo as well. And then once you get to this ending, it's kind of like, you know, remembering how it sounds and kind of, you know, letting it fall out of your mouth. That's it just kind of flows out. Do you want to try it?
Yeah, from you're talking about from.
Where do you want to start? Do you want to start here to do the diatonic first?
Okay, so. Kezo ke didi ke didi gadi kezo ke di gadi gadi ga bu pa pa.
So it was better. Your vu wasn't quite close enough to the pa towards the end. Could you hear that?
Gadi ga vu pa pa. So it's supposed to sound the same.
Yeah, that was better. And somewhere you got off on the parlagi. Like you were getting the pitches more or less right, but you weren't saying the right words. So can you go slower?
Yeah, I would probably do better with that. Kezo ke di ke di gadi kezo ke di gadi ga vu pa.
So you got a little off. Again. How about you guys mute your mics and I'll do it really slow so that you can do it with me and get the parlaki right. Gadi kezo kedi gadi gadi ga upa pa. Let me do it again. Kezo kedi gadi kezo kedi gadi ga vu pa pa. Let's do it a few more times. Kezo kedi gadi kezo kedi gadi ga vu pa pa pa. I'm gonna go a little faster. Ke zo ke di di ke di di. Ga di ke zo ke di ga di. Ga di ga vu pa pa. And a little faster. Ke zo ke di di. Ga di ke zo ke di ga di. Ga di ga vu pa pa. Do you want to try it now, Ken?
Yeah, I'll try it. It's not going to sound good, but I'm just going to give it a shot anyway.
Okay.
Ke zo ke di di ke di di. Ga ke di di. Ga di ke zo ke di ga di ga di ga vu pa pa.
That was much better. That sounded good. So,
Thank you.
the trick, I think, for learning to read Fathora fluently, so that when you look at this music, you could sight read it. The trick for me, anyway, was first of all learning what the symbols meant. Honestly, I for like 3 years, I had to look up the symbol every time I came to it, and so this spring, I finally memorized them. And then, I mean, once you know the symbols, then it's a matter of actually being able to do them, to do these changes. And what I found for myself is that it really helped for me to practice just switching between scales in the car, when I'm cooking dinner, whenever. I'm not embarrassed to be chanting. And just, so it's kind of like, being able to speak a language fluently. You can't read a language very well if you can't speak it fluently. And these modulations, these Fathora, are really part of being fluent at, speaking and reading Byzantine chant. So if your ear, can't kind of change the environment, it can't change how the pitches sound, the relationships easily, and allow you, if your voice can't produce the pitches easily, changing back and forth whenever, it's going to be really hard to read it fluently and sight read. And basically what I found was, I was fine. I could chant this pretty well with the other chanters at my church, if they were leading. But, the first year when they were gone, I had to lead probably about, 8 months into it. And this was like super hard for me to do on my own. And even probably the second year, I got a little more comfortable. But whenever those guys weren't there, I was usually like sweating bullets when it came to the Doxasticon. And a lot of the other chanters are like, let's just chant it from text. We don't need to use the music. But usually, we struggled through it. It wasn't until, this spring and this summer when I really started working on pitches and jumping between scales. That was when I really started being able to read Fathora much better. And when I say, playing around with pitches, basically what you're doing is you have to build this like mental structure in your head. So it's kind of like building a house. Or I also think of like, the metro map. You have the red line and the orange line and the green line, and they all intersect. But it's even worse than the metro map because, in Byzantine chant, all of these scales can intersect at almost any point. You know, it's not, I mean, there are like common intersections, but really there are so many different ones that you really have to know these intervals well. So, you know, this summer I started comparing things, you know, how, like the first thing that stuck out to me is that like the digavu and the diatonic are the same as the digavu and the soft chromatic. And, you know, that the and the K is the same, you know, that there's this 12 here. So I was always kind of annoyed when teachers would like do the first class, you know, to the new students, and they would throw out this chart. And I'm like, we can't hear it, you know, like, I don't know how these intervals sound. So what's the point of the chart? And I think it's good to look at the chart, but I think you have to do it. You have to know how to go about learning it and reading it. So really, you know, you have to study the tetrachords and how they sound. So for the hard chromatic scale, it's helpful to think about it as being pa, vu, ga, di, and then those same pitches repeat. Pa, vu, ga, di, pa, vu, ga, di. So that when you're chanting and you're on parlagi, you know, and you switch into the hard chromatic scale, you think, okay, I'm on the now. So my ga is really close, you know, because you're kind of picturing the lower tetrachord. Or, you know, I'm on the and I'm going up. But the to K is still a whole step. I know that. It's the same as diatonic, you know, but K to zo is closer. So I really feel like in order to read the Fathora, you know, fluently, you really have to get these pitch relationships in your head, in your ear, and you have to build, you know, this kind of structure in your head. And I found that the only way I could do it was by comparing one scale to another, and by starting out with the intervals that I knew. So pretty much everyone knows how a whole step should sound. And everyone knows, most people know how a half step should sound. And then most people know how a perfect fourth should sound. So it's just, I mean, the simplest way to start is, you know, this is the lower tetrachord of the diatonic scale, ni, pa, vu, ga. But you also have a tetrachord from pa to the. And so for me, the simplest way to start out, you know, starting to get your head to do this shift on a dime was to go pa, vu, ga, di, ga, vu, pa, vu, ga, di, ke, zo, ni, pa. So, you know, I did diatonic going up, hard chromatic going down, diatonic going up, hard chromatic going up even higher into the upper tetrachord. And so that's how I would recommend, you know, starting to train your ear and your voice to be able to produce the pitches. I would focus first on being able to switch from one tetrachord to another tetrachord, you know, from one scale to the other, and doing it from a common pitch, you know, just like I did. Pa, vu, ga, di, the diatonic to the hard chromatic, the, ga, vu, pa, the, ke, zo, ni, pa, ni, zo, ke, di. So now I can switch to diatonic, ke, di, ke, so, ni, zo, ke, di. So that was, you know, up and down, the, ga, vu, pa, vu, ga, di. And I would focus first on the diatonic and the hard chromatic, because I think those are a bit easier. The soft chromatic for me has always been harder to get the K. And actually, I mean, for a long time, I thought that when we chanted in the soft chromatic at my church, it sounded just like the hard chromatic to me. And I found when I started studying this more, the way I could tell that it was soft chromatic was the di, ga, vu here. That's the same as in the diatonic scale. The ga vu, which my vu is probably too high. I tried to make it lower. But you just don't have that kind of, I don't know, for a better word, I don't have a better word. I just say normal. Kind of more normal sounding. You don't really have that in the hard chromatic scale. And so the way I would work on, this would be later on, I would work on, getting this K. It should be just a little higher than the zo. But you'll notice, I'm sorry, yeah, the zo and the K, I would compare the soft chromatic with the diatonic. So, the vu ga di is the same in both. It's just the di to K is different. And the di to K, it's not quite a half, it's a little higher. Yeah, so that's where I would start.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
The zo there on found is going to be flat, much like the zo on billows, right? If you even get up there. And so as Amy said earlier, the defining moment for that shift is that ga. And I don't know if you've taken a look at Father Papa Ephraim's transcriptions of this, but he almost invariably has a breath mark at the beginning and end of every one of these switches into another scale. So, like, take a moment. To founder in the billows of unbelief. Take a moment, right? Not a long moment, but like push the clutch in, find a different gear. Right, it's that kind of thing, because it's a disjointed phrase from the rest of what's going on, right? Mm-hmm. It's meant to be different. So stop, take a full breath, and don't freak out about it. They can wait. They're waiting on you. They can wait, and really make it different. And then when you get to the end of it, stop, push in that clutch again, and get right back onto where you need to be. There's usually a useful phrase to do it.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying he probably has a breath mark after founder before you switch?
Yeah, he almost always does.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any more questions? Was I going too fast? I tend to go fast. Okay. Do you want me to do it on Melos now?
Absolutely.
Oh, Ruth.
Amy, I just want to let you know I loved it when you did it over and over and over again. That was really great.
Okay, thanks, Ruth. Good.
Uh-huh.
Good to know. Is there any other part that you want me to do over and over and over again? I could see doing on wherefore. That's...
Yeah, can you do that one again?
On wherefore?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one that I had to do over and over again before this lesson. Basically, you have, 2 beats here, 1 beat, and then this apostrophos is affected by this gorgon. So you have half, half, and then this gorgon affects this kentimata and the second apostrophos here. So you have half, half. And then this gorgon hits this kentimata and this oligon, so half, half. And then you're left with this oligon on the top. It does not have anything affecting its time, so it is for 1 beat. Then you have this gorgon, half, half. And then this, I think is a D gorgon. So basically, actually, I did pull up rhythm. Where did it go? Of course, it was on the other one, but let me see. It should be right here. So on ByzantineChant.org, there's also a paper with rhythm. So right here, yeah, digorgon. So it affects it's kind of like sitting over the middle note. It affects the one before and after and makes those a third. So, so when it's sitting on an iparoi, it's basically sitting over the first apostrophos. So it affects the ison and the two apostrophos. So this would be 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and then 3 beats. And there's one other digorgon, which I think I should mention, this one here. So this is again affecting the two apostrophoses, and then it's affecting this before it, this oligon with the klasma. And if you look here, oops, right here, you can just pretend that this is, these two apostrophoses are iparoi, is an iparoi. So basically it takes this and makes it 1 1/3, and these other two 1/3. So this whole thing equals 2 beats. So you have 1 triple or whatever, however you want to say it. Okay, so let's go back to here. Let me do it first on, I'm going to do it on Parlagi, and I'm going to try and do it without the pitch and just saying the Parlagi, but we'll see if that messes me up. Okay, so we would have ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Okay, so let's do it again. I'll go slower. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. And let me try and go even slower. I have trouble going slow. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. So now on pitch. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Let me do it again. Try and go slower. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Again. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Again. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Maybe we'll try a little faster. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. The tricky part is in here and knowing where you're at. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. One last time. Ni zo ke di ke zo ni pa ni zo ke di ke. Okay, are there any other sections you want to go through like that? Go slower. Let me just scroll up. See if you see anything. Okay. So I really like this. I like these parts right here. Di ke ke zo I always like this where the zo is moving and then, it's natural and then you have the zo on the descent. So make sure you do that. You have the zo natural when you go up and then flat when you go down. Okay. So any other spots?
I would love to hear offenses at the end.
Offenses?
The remission of offenses.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so let's start from here. So this is the part where I was not remembering how the zo was. I actually emailed Nick Jones the recording for him to check. And so I think I was doing it right, if I can just remember what the right way was. I think the right way was they were all natural in this section because it's coming down to thee, but it's just kind of briefly going down, but it's really staying up higher. So I think that should all be natural.
Yeah, everything isn't coming back down to the lower tetrachord. It's very high. So I think natural is absolutely the way to go.
Okay, thanks. So I'll do it again. Oops, we're not starting there. We're starting here. Do you want me to do it again? Oops.
Sounded cool to me.
You're good?
Well, I don't know about that, but I'm satisfied. How about that?
Okay. Any other spots? Ken, you look like you might want to say something.
Yeah, can you go over the let's see, Holy Spirit for the glory?
Okay. Okay.
Actually, not. Sorry. Actually, and to the Holy Spirit. The Spirit is the one I have the
Spirit.
Yeah, Spirit.
Is it the rhythm or the intervals? Or both?
It's probably both.
Okay. Pavu gavi gavi ke gavi gavu ga di gavu ga vi gavu gavu pa. Let's do it again. Pavu gavi gavi ke gavi gavu gavi gavu gavi gavu gavu pa.
All right, I think I got it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Anything else? Okay. Then I will go ahead and do it on Melos. Anes, glory to the Father, unto the holy, Spirit. In these latter times, thou camest to thy friends at evening of the first day of the week of Christ, and by thine entry whilst the doors were shut, thou by your wonder didst confirm under even thy resurrection shone from the dead. Then thou didst fill the disciples with joy, and didst impart the Holy Spirit to them, and didst bestow on them authority to forgive sins. Moreover, thou didst not abandon Thomas to wander in the billows of unbelief. Wherefore, grant us also true knowledge and the remission of your answers. O compassionate Lord. Okay, any questions?
Walk in the park.
Oh, walk in the park. Well,
That's how you make it seem.
well, I'll tell you this. When the classes started right after Labor Day, I was really nervous about doing the brief stikira and the brief postica. So if you had asked me to do this then, there's no way I would have done this, taught a class on this at all. And I would have not been excited to chant it by myself at church either. But it's amazing what 4 months will do. So keep working and you'll get there. Any questions, comments?
So how long have you been doing this for? Like doing Paralayi and chanting. How long did you say? 5 years?
So let's see. So I did 2 years of Kazan like 12 years ago. And then that was in Michigan. and then I moved to Pittsburgh, and the chanters were old men who chanted a lot of Arabic and didn't use any music. And so I was not going to join in with that because I've never been good at chanting by ear. If you give me music, I'll read the music, but I hate chanting by ear. I'm getting a little better at it, but so anyway, 4 years in Pittsburgh, so 10 years ago, starting at that point, and Nick Jones and Stefan Esper were teaching classes, and so I went to like, you know, an introduction class for like 3 hours, and I went to the Sacred Music Festival and did a class with Father Elias Bitar, but I didn't really start studying until I moved to Maryland. So that was like about a little over 5 years ago. During Great Lent, it was obvious that they needed some help reading at the very least. So I went up, and the Curia in my church, she was a very good chanter, but she only liked to use Byzantine notation when she chanted in Arabic. And she wasn't able to come to Matins a lot, and we didn't have Vespers. So she was really like the one in charge, but my priest kind of put me in charge when she wasn't there. So I was, I used Margaziotis on my own and started trying to read things from Byzantine notation, but I had no idea where to start. So, I'm just pulling random hymns out. I would try and read the doxology and, absolutely could not read the doxology. So I would try and do like, the troparia for the saint of the day. But generally I was lucky if I could do one thing from Byzantine notation, and the rest was Kazan. So then I moved back to Pittsburgh 4 years ago, and then I had some pretty intense theory classes with Dr. Nick Yannikakis, in which, he explained all of the theory to me, but my ear wasn't good enough. And so, I couldn't really put it into practice. But I've been chanting at St. George for 4 years, and I did Eson for a year. And then, the first year on Melos, I was just, I was honestly trying to figure out what mode they were in, in every song. Like, because I don't know, whenever people teach you, beginning Byzantine notation, they teach you what all the interval symbols mean, but hardly anyone ever says, like hijos, plagal, like this tells you that it's in the soft chromatic scale, or this is how you know it's diatonic, so like half the time I'm just like thinking, what mode are we in? What scale are we in? And then finally I started to make sense of that. Like I figured out the martyries could tell me how it should sound. So then probably the next year I was actually like, chanting with some sense of what was going on. But at that point, I had no idea like what the hymns were, like the kathismata versus the antiphons, like I was completely lost in the service. So when I had to lead, it was just like, I'm trying to read the music and I'm like, I can't remember what's next. So I'm like freaking out towards the end of the song because, no one's there to pull the music out. And so, I don't know. I think I stumbled along for a long time. And then in like March or April, Richard Barrett started helping me. So, just like I'll send him a Facebook message and, ask him a question and he'll answer. And that has honestly made the biggest difference, just having someone there to answer the little questions, because I don't know, a fifth of the questions could be, where I'm reading music and there's a orthographical error, where they forget to put in a fathora or they put in the wrong martyrie. And so, you're trying to read it and you're like, this doesn't seem right, but if you don't have someone to ask, then that question just stays there, and it's the same for so many different questions. If you don't have someone that you can ask, then you don't progress. So ever since Richard started helping me, it's just been night and day. I've made so much faster progress. Yeah. So that's a nutshell.
The way I learned was actually via the YouTube, listening to like YouTube all the time. And that's how I kind of developed my ear with knowing the different tones. Like I understand like when something switches from, tone 8 to tone 5 to tone 6, or tone 2 with like being on pop. But for me, trying to learn it formally, obviously by knowing learning the notation. And I thought I had it. And then when guys started talking about Thora, the Martyriae, it was like I'm like back in kindergarten. Again, it's like I'm back to square one. But it's cool though. It's fine. It's good. It lets me know that I've got some more ground to catch up on, which is fine. These classes have been super helpful for me.
Oh, good.
And just watching YouTube and stuff has been really helpful as well.
You said you started studying notation how long ago? What did you say, 5 years?
5 years, yeah. I had no teacher.
Yeah.
I would just listen to, and when Peter Seymour started to print, like publish the texts from on the Antiochian website, I would find recordings that sounded similar to the text. And then I found out by talking to some of my friends who were either Greek or Arabic, they would say, "Oh yeah, this is what you're pouring for Pascha or the Nativity." And so I would learn by listening to the Arabic or Greek recordings and then try to apply it to the words, because I didn't know how to even read. I didn't even know how to read Western notation because I'm not a musical background. It was just something that I always wanted to do. So I actually learned a musical notation from starting with the Byzantine notation. That's going to help me with understanding the different symbols and where the notes fall on the Western scale and stuff like that. It's been an interesting process for me. And I have 4 other guys who I chant with who we're all in the kind of the same boat.
You're all trying to learn.
Yeah. All trying to learn and kind of like further develop our knowledge of how to apply like the different tones and to the different scales. And I don't know, we're literally all learning on our own because we don't have really a teacher here in the Los Angeles area to kind of point us to the right direction. So that's why these online classes are really helpful.
Yeah. So did you say, have you learned the Fathora yet? Have you memorized what the symbols mean?
No, I'm still learning them. And I know what the Martyriae are. That was easy to kind of understand, but the Fathora is something in which I'm still trying to understand.
Yeah. So if you look at are you familiar with? Gosh, where did it go? Are you familiar with this chart?
Yeah. I've been looking at that a lot the last month or so.
That's good. Yeah, so the Fathora are all down here, and the ones over here, 1, 2, 3, those are all tetrachord shadings. And I tend to think of the Ajam as being more like a tetrachord shading. So right here, oh, actually it is right here. So this thing here that says scale of the grave and harmonic mode from Ga. John Michael Boyer said that there is not actually a scale. This should not have the word scale. But what you can see is the Ajam is placed on the Ga and the Zo and the high Vu. And you could see what I was talking about, how it affects the tetrachord. But basically the Martyriae stay the same. So where you see this, you won't see that in the classical books. I haven't really researched it myself, but I've had a few, reputable people say that. So basically the Ajam, you'll still see the martidier for the diatonic scale. But yeah, this is helpful. So.
I've been looking at that every day.
That's good. I could probably stop casting.
It still says live up in the top right corner of mine.
Oh, I didn't turn it off. Do you want me to turn it off?
I'm not fussed.
End of the lesson.